Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. We are honored to be connecting in with you in August as we reflect back on the summer and we are looking ahead into the remaining part of the year. It's a really great time to check in and see how are we doing on those things that matter most to us. Are we remembering to really make choices that align with those things that matter most to us? Are we choosing to fully show up in our life? I have two amazing guests today I know that you are going to love. You will enjoy their united vision, what they're bringing forward, and they are so aligned with mission and purpose and what they are looking to do in the world, the difference they are looking to make. And I know we have so much we can learn from them in how they're showing up and what they are looking to do and how they are uniting together. Because remember, life is not a solo journey. We can come together to move forward those things that matter most. So I know we're in for a treat. They have so much wisdom, insight, and passion that we are going to get to hear and learn from today. And I want you to be able to get the most out of our time together. So I want to invite you to take a deep breath in through the nose, all the way to your toes, every cell in your body. Then breathe out. Like you're breathing out through a straw. And as you're breathing, keep breathing in and out. Choose to be fully present. This is your time. I claim it for you. I support you in leaning in and allowing us to come alongside and pour into you so that you can be filled to overflowing. So as you're breathing in and out, picture breathing in all that support. And as you breathe out, release what no longer serves. Move your shoulders a little bit, stretch, creating room and space for more so that you can be poured into as you choose to be fully present. I invite you to close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Put both hands on your heart and notice your heart beat. And as you're noticing your heartbeat, I want you to lean in and check in and see as you listen to that heartbeat and the pause in between the beats, what is your heart whispering to you today? What is it sharing? What is it reminding you of as you think about those things that you are called to bring forward? What is it you need today to encourage, empower, and support you real time, that you are willing and open to receiving because you have choice? We're just asking you to identify what, not how. We're going to support you with how. Beautiful. Receive that information, then come back into the room, eyes open, fully present. Another beautiful breath. Take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart. What is it that you need today and are willing to receive? Or perhaps a reminder or encouragement, whatever your heart shared with you. When we pause, we give ourselves the opportunity to center, to breathe deeply, and to even catch up with ourselves. We can move so quickly in life. Beautiful. Now, as you're writing that down, I'm going to go around our virtual room here and have each of our guests take a moment and just share what was laid on their heart. Just a short share, 10 to 15 seconds, what was laid on their heart that they want to share with you today. So with that, Esmeralda, I'd love for you to start. What was laid on your heart?
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for having us, first of all. And what was laid in my heart was a sense of peace. As we are speaking, I remember some weeks ago when my mother was having open heart surgery and how difficult that moment was and how I had to stay calm and present to be available for her, to make sure that she had a peaceful presence at all times. And so that this time with you just now took me back to those days where I had to find my peace in order to share that peace with others. So thank you for this time.
You are so welcome, and thank you for sharing. And we just lift you and your family up and how important it is that we find that peace for ourselves so we can share it out with others. So thank you for sharing. Gabriela, I'd love for you to share. What was laid on your heart?
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I was also thinking about my loved ones, specifically my daughter, who actually passed away in 2021. But I'm looking at a picture of her now, and even as I got ready to do this interview, just hearing her voice say, you got to speak up, you got to, elevate your voice, Mom, because she was a talker, and she was, when we're young, sometimes the teachers don't love our children or love us when we like to talk or talk back. And so she definitely had no problem raising her issues or concerns and really raising her voice to help other people. So it's a great reminder that I'm on track and I am following what she would be encouraging me to do. So excited about that.
Thank you for sharing. And I'm so sorry for your loss. And I'm honored that her energy is coming through with us today and that you're sharing this with us and that she's inspiring you. And I suspect our listeners as well to really stand on our truth and raise our voices. Don't shrink back, but lean in. It's important and it matters. So thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Marcella was definitely somebody that shared her truth and made sure that she spoke up for others. So thank you.
Absolutely. I love it. Well, and I feel like both of you are doing that so powerfully with what you're bringing forward and the work that you both do. So honored to have you guys on the show. And we are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do so, listeners, I want you to think about what Esmeralda and Gabriela have shared and really see what is bubbling up for you, what is being laid on your heart. How can you add that peace and centering to your life, as well as be willing to share your voice and to stand up for others? We'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at Facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
This is the home of the top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success drivers. The Voice America Empowerment Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes. Isn't it interesting when we remember to stay present and we check in with our heart, we slow down and listen? It can be so moving or inspiring or empowering. Sometimes it can even spark something within us that sometimes we're just so busy, we don't stop to listen. We don't slow down. And so we have built these commercial breaks into the show on purpose. These are secretly in disguise moments for you to be able to sit, stay present, process what is coming forward, listen, start to integrate so it actually starts to become part of you rather than just on the to-do list. So I invite you, as we continue our conversation, choose to be present, really drink in all those things that serve and support you. And I'm very excited to more formally introduce both of our guests. And as I get ready to share a little bit of their background, so you have met them on the heart level, but now you get to meet them professionally. Something I think is really powerful about these two powerful women is that they have come together. So they have joined together to lead a project that will really make a powerful and positive difference, empowering others. So they are stepping into that leadership role. They're helping lift up other voices and messages along with theirs, and they are taking that stand to share it powerfully out in the world. And I'm inspired by what they are coming together to do. So with that, let me introduce them, and I will let them share about their project that they are bringing forward. So I'm going to start with Esmeralda. Esmeralda is a builder of just a minute. I'm sorry, Esmeralda. You are a builder of belonging. There we go. I want to make sure I honor your beautiful language that you use. So you are a builder of belonging, and you're dedicated to fostering diversity and equity and inclusion. And you really stand for that. You have over 20 years of diverse experience in the Air Force, a doctoral student. You are a speaker. She is a #1 or an international best-selling author, and she leverages her Spanish language skills to enhance communication. She's a founding member of Sisters in Service for the Greater St. Louis area and recently co-founded Latinas Rising, LLC. She is passionate about diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and inspiring Esmeralda Aharon. Welcome!
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I really appreciate it. And thank you for that warm introduction.
You are so
I'm happy to be here.
I'm thrilled to have you joining us. And I wanted you to take a moment and can you share why this work of helping people in this way is personally so important to you?
Oh, my goodness. That's such a good question. I remember as a young little girl, I was a big talker, just like Marcela. I loved to talk. I was always in class talking and sharing. And as I started growing, I continued to hear, Esmeralda, shh, calladita te ves más bonita. When you're quiet, you look more beautiful. So I would be in class, and I would be told that. When I would be home, and I was talking, I would be told the same phrase. And maybe even in church, I would hear, calladita te ves más bonita. When you're quiet, you look more beautiful. And then I realized, now I'm older, and through the years, I realized that phrase would be in my head. I would be in a meeting, and that phrase would come up. And even if it was my time to speak up, to share my opinion, I would that phrase would come to my head, and I would say, no, Galletita me ve más bonita. Whether I was in agreement or disagreement with whatever was being shared, I would stay quiet until just recently that I decided to, okay, now it's time to use my voice. I have a platform, and I should be using my voice for good. And through the years, I started empowering myself, and now I'm empowering others because this topic is so important. And this topic regarding in our culture, calladita te ves más bonita, I feel that stops with me. It stops with me. It is important for us to speak up.
I love that. And I love this, Dan, that stops with me and that you've chosen to speak up and help others do the same. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that leads me to my next question. I'd love for you to share about this project that you guys are both coming together on to bring forward. What is it? What is it about? And why were you inspired to come together and bring it forward?
Well, we decided, after several conversations that Gabriela and I were driving every morning as we were driving to work, and we would have different conversations about how we were feeling and how our voices were being shared. We decided, it's time to unite these collective voices. How about we create this anthology and invite other Latinas to share their stories? And it was interesting that as we were developing and having these conversations with other Latinas, we started hearing, well, I don't have a story to tell. We realized that many of them felt like they had no story. And it was interesting because when I was invited to do my first anthology, to be part of another anthology, I said the same thing. I told Gabriela, I don't have a story to tell. And as we were collaborating, she's like, see, there's one story. See, there's another story. And now that I feel empowered, I'm able to collaborate and share with other women. Yes, you have a story to tell. Yes, your story matters. Yes, you should be sharing it. It is critical that you share it because as you share, others will learn from your lessons. Those lessons learned will have a ripple effect for not just yourself, but for our community. And that's why we think it's so important for this Galletitas rising to come up, to actually become an anthology where these women will be able to tell their stories, collaborate, network among themselves, and I'm sure it's going to be powerful, our entire community.
I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing some of the journey and how you guys decided to come together and that heartbeat that you felt. And isn't that interesting how you've gotten to go full circle there where you didn't think you had a story to share and now you have it reflected back how many are within you and you're getting to help others bring their stories and voices forward. I love it. And listeners, for those of you who the term anthology is newer for you, it's a collaborative book project. So it's where the compilers, which we have on our show today, are the leaders of that project. And then they bring in different co-authors that each of them write a chapter or a section of the book to bring forward. So in an anthology, a collaborative book project, you are getting multiple voices standing together to pour into you. They're really, really powerful to assemble and to read. So I'm very, very excited about this one that you are bringing forward, Galletitas Rising. And for those of you who are a regular follower of our show, you know that we love to let you know when books are coming, that you can add to your watch list and take advantage of the special rate when it's first released. So this one is going to come out on September 26th. So it's just around the corner, September 26th. And there will be a special rate of $1.99 for the first 24 to 48 hours. So you want to lean in, add this book to your library, take advantage of that special rate. I encourage you to add that date. We're going to be posting and sharing it out. And towards the end of the show, we're going to let you know how you can also connect with the compilers so you can follow them as well. Very excited about this book coming forward. And I was just thinking, I love the cover. You shared it with me previously. It's so vibrant. Do you mind describing the cover, Esmeralda?
Absolutely. The cover has a myriad of flowers of different vibrant colors. We have reds and yellows and pinks, and it looks like a tapestry that you would see hanging in a home or a tablecloth, and it just reminds us of all the colors that represent our Latin American culture. It feels warm and happy. When you look at the book, it just really gives you a sense of home. And those are some of the colors that you will also see in different outfits, traditional outfits that women will wear. And, it's very representative of the Latino culture. Thank you for asking me that.
Oh, absolutely. You're very welcome. Thank you for sharing. I didn't know all of that background and some of the very deliberate thoughts that you had in creating that. So I appreciate you sharing. I know our listeners do as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm excited to bring on our second compiler, and I love seeing powerful, dynamic women coming together and lifting others up, and that's exactly what these two ladies are doing. So it's my honor to introduce Gabriela. She's originally from Mexico, and inspired by her own experience of growing up in the U.S., she centers her volunteering efforts around small business support, economic development, and language access, helping small business owners achieve their dreams through her work at Cortex and at the Balsa Foundation. She is a 2 times best-selling author, marathon runner, and podcast host, and she is passionate about helping you reach social equity and prosperity. Please lean in and welcome the dynamic and powerful and inspiring Gabriela Ramirez-Arellano. Welcome.
Thank you. I think I heard the cheer in the crowd cheering.
Yay, my arms were up. That's right. Whole crowd behind us. Beautiful. I love it. Well, welcome. And I'm glad you could hear that and see that. And I wanted to hear in your words, why this project is important, how you came together, anything you wanted to add around the importance and why you decided to lean into co-leading this project.
Yes, no, thank you, Rebecca. I'm really excited to be working with Esmeralda. Part of the project has been this transition of the conversations that we've had and finding a common voice. And so the inspiration for our joint venture, which is Latinas Rising, and the anthology, Calladitas Rising, really comes from a deep desire to amplify Latina voices and create a platform for our stories to be heard and celebrated. I love the description that Esmeralda gave about the book cover because some of my reasonings for raising my voice is because I didn't always have a great situation, right? When I was getting divorced and that whole process and reinventing myself after and having to get my first job at 45 years old. Some of those in the moment are difficult, but the beauty that comes from the resilience and the perseverance, I think, is also reflected in the book cover. And so the pressures that we face, sometimes we remain quiet and we're ashamed or there's a guilt or, a myriad of feelings that we experience and we don't share those. And then we really kind of suffer in silence. And so what we want to do with this project and with this initiative is really to encourage Latinas and women everywhere, everyone, to break that silence and to share their powerful narratives, because we can learn so much from the challenges that others have faced. When we bring these stories together, we want to inspire and empower others.
Yes.
And showing our voices matters because we're giving it strength to overcome any obstacles that may come our way later or even that people are facing now.
Thank you. It is so true. And when we stay silent about those things, everyone feels isolated and alone, and we can't learn from each other. We can't lift up each other. And I think we are far stronger than we know. And the more we can step forward and be authentic and share the journey and share what we've learned that helped us get through, the more we can help all of those around us. So thank you for being willing to share, being willing to take the stand and step into that leadership role of sharing your voice, your story, and then helping others do the same.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a process, right? We don't expect all the authors to automatically be empowered and be on a circuit sharing their stories, but sometimes you just have to get it out of your head and out of your heart to really give it power. And so that's what our hope is through this whole process. It's a collaborative effort, women supporting women, and it's just been incredibly fulfilling to see the stories start to shape, as well as already start to see the empowerment in the women as they reach back out and say, oh my gosh, I already spoke with the writer, with the coaching editor, and I'm just so excited how it's coming together. So there's so many things that are coming out of this. I'm so excited.
Oh, I love it. And what an honor for us to get to hear a little bit of behind the scenes, because a lot of times we see the book on the shelf or on Amazon, and we don't always know what it takes behind the scenes to bring that forward. And I'm excited. It's such an empowering process for each of you that are leaning in. Very exciting. Well, again, this book is going to, I just want to make sure everyone has it on the calendar. So I'm going to remind us a couple times. It's coming out on September 26th as a beautiful, vibrant cover of flowers that will definitely make you smile and draw you in. So it'll be available on September 26th for the special rate of $1.99. And Gabriela, can you give us the title again?
Yes, it's Calladitas Rising. Empowering women.
Perfect. Thank you so much. As we go to our next commercial break, listeners, I want you to think about what has been shared, what's speaking to your heart, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on LinkedIn. Connect with us today.
I'm really excited to share something I have discovered. I have found that sometimes my lips are dry. I struggle with dry lips, and I find as a speaker and as a host that it's really important to have lips that are moist and plump. And so I'm really excited about a solution that I have discovered. It's an all-in-one solution for thinning lips, keeping all-day hydration with ultra high shine, which is beautiful as a speaker. I want that high shine. So if you're anyone that has struggled with dry lips, I'm excited to share this solution with you. It's called City Lips. So if you're looking to have no dry or chapped lips, full and plump lips, beautiful ingredients like hyaluronic acid and peptides, really excited to encourage you to lean in. So if you want fuller and plumper lips with City Lips, shop citybeauty.com. I get to share with you a 15% off site-wide with the code EMPOWERING. So if you go to citybeauty.com, you get a 15% off site-wide using the code EMPOWERING. That's EMPOWERING. And they even have a 60-day money-back guarantee policy. So I encourage you, lean in, take advantage of this beautiful product to help you have moist, plump, full lips.
Friend us on Facebook to keep up with what's empowering the world. Voice America Empowerment.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that you're taking in some really great perspectives and tools and ideas to help you stop and bring your voice forward. I think a great question is to start asking, do I have a story? What is my story? What have people reflected back to me that touches them or is interesting or powerful when I share it? What a great idea to start to own our stories, our journey, and our voices. I want to encourage you today to take some time to do that and to add this powerful book to your watch list and be looking forward to its release. I think it's something that will encourage and inspire you. And what an amazing opportunity to get to be learning from other people's stories and the resilience they discover, what they have done to come through and be where they are now, and their vulnerability and authenticity in sharing the journey. So it's such a privilege when someone shares on that level. And that's what you're going to find in this book. So I encourage you to lean in. The other thing I'm hearing as we talk today is how important it is to stand up for ourselves, our voice, and our truth. And I think that's important in all areas of our life. And I have recently discovered a program, a product that can help you do this. And so I wanted to take a moment and share about that with you. It's called Bank on Yourself. How powerful is that? Bank on yourself. Are you being misled? Wall Street tells you to defer paying your taxes by saving in a 401k or an IRA because you're going to retire in a lower tax bracket. But if that were true, why are so many retirees who followed that advice finding themselves in the highest tax bracket of their lives? It's time to get the truth and discover a better way to grow and protect your money. Bank on Yourself is the proven retirement plan alternative banks and Wall Street are desperately hoping you never hear about. It gives you guaranteed, predictable growth in retirement income. Your plan doesn't go backward when the markets tumble. Your principal and growth are locked in with Bank on Yourself. Built-in inflation protection. Your money is guaranteed to grow by a larger dollar amount every single year in both good times and bad. And this is something we talked about in the beginning, peace of mind. You'll know the minimum guaranteed value of your retirement savings on the day you plan to tap into them at every point along the way. Learn the secret to safely and predictably grow your wealth every single year. Enjoy tax-free retirement income and gain control of your money. Just go to bankonyourself.com/empowering and we'll send you a free report about the retirement plan alternative that lets you bypass banks and Wall Street and take bank control of your financial future. That's bankonyourself.com/empowering for your free report. bankonyourself.com/empowering. What an amazing opportunity. I encourage you to lean in, check out the report, and it's always good to see what opportunities are out there that can serve and support you. So I encourage you to check out Bank on Yourself. I'm excited to continue our conversation as we talk with Esmeralda and Gabriela about their project and about so many of these important concepts about sharing our voice, owning our story, and really bringing forward those things that matter to us. So, Gabriela, you touched on this a little bit, and I'd love for you to share, what has it been like to compile these stories and voices that are featured in this book? What has that been like for you?
That's a great question. I think that was a conversation Esmeralda and I had early on because we had a lot of doubts about the project and about people sharing their voice, especially in the Latino community. So the process of compiling these stories for Caritas Rising has been both challenging and rewarding. We started by reaching out to potential authors in our community, and also talking about our own experiences, because Esmeralda and I have both participated in previous anthologies and able to share some of those lessons learned, as well as the impact that telling our stories has had in our lives and in our community. And so it's been a pairing with both of us reaching out to our networks, and definitely a collaborative effort to make sure that the voices of the women are included. We also wanted to make sure that we had some sponsorships available. So we reached out to community partners, and then working with our publisher to be able to support those maybe younger Latinas that maybe wouldn't be able to invest in the project on their own, to have that collaboration so that they could still have access to sharing their stories and raising their voices.
Thank you for sharing that. I didn't realize that you guys had built sponsorship in as well. What a beautiful way to help rise up those voices as well. Very powerful. Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
And Esmeralda, I wanted to have you share a little bit about Latinas Rising. We've talked about that a little bit in our conversation. So how does Latinas Rising support Latina women?
Absolutely. That's a great question. And as Gabriela was saying, this is a brand new company that we have formed. And what it is going to be is not just consulting services, not just authorship, which is the anthology, but we're also including mentorship. And that will begin with our own authors. Through this mentorship, we will empower them to utilize their own creativity, their own, many of them already have businesses. Some of them are considering launching businesses. So we are providing them a platform for them to be able to do that through networking with each other and then with the rest of the community. And we know that as we do that, we're going to be creating that sense of community that many in our culture will say that they lack, that they feel like they do not belong, whether it's in higher education, whether it's in medicine, whether it's in as realtors. They feel like they're usually one of, and then the number. Many of them are, like in myself, I'm a doctoral student, and I'm usually the only Latina in the classroom. And so this community, this Latinas Rising, it's also helping them find that sense of belonging. That through the anthology, that through we're going to have mentorship and even workshops, they will start building that, not just that sense of family that they not only have within their own family, but then that they will be having with other women in their community and in different industries. So that's why we're so excited about this, because it's going to have, like I said before, that ripple effect that as you throw the stone, as we launch this anthology, it will just have that ripple effect that it will be the gift that keeps on giving. So that's why we're really excited about this.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And you've touched a little bit on my next question too. So it's like you can read my paper. It's perfect. I love it. We're in sync. So Gabriela, I'd love for you to share, how does the anthology reflect the mission of Latinas Rising to support Latina women, to empower them? So I'd love your perspective on that.
Yes. We have lots of ideas, and I definitely feel that some of the strategies that we've started to put together directly reflect that Latinas Rising's mission to empower Latina women by providing a platform for them to share their voices. And so through Calladitas Rising, the anthology, we're kind of providing that first step to give the authors the opportunity to express themselves, to celebrate their heritage, to reimagine what life could be without being quiet, and then also giving other Latinas the opportunity to be inspired by their sharing. And so really the anthology is a testament to this commitment by Latinas Rising, the organization, to uplift and support Latinas in all aspects of their lives. So like Esmeralda said, we have some workshops planned. We have some encouragement. I think the biggest piece is just building that comunidad, the community, so that we know, like, I need help with this. Who in my circle can I reach out to? Because I think a lot of times that's something that we're missing out of. Many of us are transplants to the area, and or we haven't been here a long time, or we just didn't even know each other because of our industries that we've normally been in. And so through this anthology and the work of Latinas Rising, we're building this network, this comunidad of folks that we can reach out to for any of these, whether it's I need a resource or I need someone to celebrate with, right?
Yep. So good. I love it. I'm excited about what you're creating, what you're bringing forward, and the positive just lifting up and celebrating of each other. So important to do. And I think we can sometimes shrink back from that. And I love that you guys are supporting that. So beautiful. Now, Esmeralda, as you look at this book going out and readers reading these stories, because I know it's been an empowering journey for the writers, so now the readers, what are you hoping they take away from Caldita's Rising? What do you hope they take away from, they discover and learn?
That is an excellent question. So, the lesson learned, right? One of the things that I just wanted to share is that despite our Latino community being the fastest growing demographic in the United States, it is highly underrepresented in literary arts. As of 2021, only 7.62% are published authors, and even women, Latinas, that percentage is even smaller. So, for one, we want to highlight that women are great authors, that are great at telling their stories, that they're empowering themselves. But we also want to share that now we're amplifying that marginalized voice. And that is important because when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion, we want to make sure that women, again, can identify with other women and that they hear those stories and they see those stories and they can say to themselves, well, if she was able to succeed, if she was able to do everything that she has in spite of being told, Gabriela te ves más bonita, or in spite of the culture sometimes holding them back, or in spite of X, Y, and Z, I too can do, I too can go to college. I too can start my own business. I too can do X, Y, and Z. And so that motivation, that's what's really driving us. We want others to be able to see the successes of these women, but that success did not come alone. Yeah. There were some challenges that came before that.
Yes.
We want them to be able to learn from those challenges because they may be navigating those similar challenges, regardless of culture. As women, we face similar things. So we want for them to learn from those challenges and see how these women were able to see the challenge, tackle it, and
Perfect.
then move on. Not give up.
Not give
up. Because giving up is
you.
not the option.
Exactly,
sometimes
not an
that
option.
Means that we have to stop. That sometimes we need to stop, take a breather, but then we have to continue, right? And
exactly.
We have to do that for ourselves. We have to do that for our families. We have to do that for our community. But most importantly, we have to do it for ourselves. Exactly. We have to put on that mask first and then press on. So I believe that those stories will be helpful for them to see themselves reflected and then push forward on their own personal challenges.
Wonderful. Thank you, Esmeralda. I appreciate it. I love your passion. I love how you're standing in this and bringing the voices forward. And I believe when voices are silenced or shrink back, everybody misses out. We are richer for knowing each other's journeys, hearing each other's perspectives, learning from each other in a variety of backgrounds. So I love that you are coming together to bring so many voices forward. We're going to our next commercial break. As we do so, listeners, I want you to think about all that has been shared and see what is speaking to your heart and to your spirit. And we'll continue in just 2 minutes.
Enjoying our shows and can't get enough of us? Follow us on Instagram at Voice America Talk Radio and see what we're cooking up for you.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and that you're getting a lot of value out of our time together. I know I'm being inspired and encouraged and touched and reminded of how important our stories are and our voices are, and that we reach back and help others. That we're never the last. You know, we reach back, we help, we lift up, we hold that space for, and we're willing to stand for others. And I feel that echoed throughout our conversation and time together today. I want to encourage you listeners to think back to the beginning of our conversation and just see what was laid on your heart. And as you look at your notes or sit and reflect on what has spoken to your heart and spirit, how has that shifted things for you, supported you on your journey? Now, as we get towards the end of the show here, I wanted to bring each of our guests on, and I'm going to have them share a final thought as well as ways that you can connect and go deeper. And I want to encourage that. Go deeper, connect. Remember, we are here for each other, lifting each other up. It is not a solo journey. So as we get close to our time together here, coming to an end, I wanted to ask Gabriela, as you reflect back on our conversation today, was there something on your heart that you wanted to make sure people knew about this project, or is a message they can take with themselves and for themselves as they step back out into the world?
Yes, definitely. I think for me, sharing that this is like a dream come true, really, right? And so we want to spark these meaningful discussions about the importance of representation and also the need for diverse voices in all aspects of our society. Esmeralda also mentioned representation, and I remember a conversation she and I had after she did her anthology, that someone asked her, how did you even find out that this, was an opportunity for you? And I don't remember how she said it, but I do know that I introduced her to her first anthology. And so that's really what we want. We want that other person that saw Esmeralda as a representative of her community and be able to go to her and say, how did you do it? How can I do it? How do I get to share my story? How do I, whatever it is that person is looking for. And so this is just one small way. It's been amazing to see the connection of dots as we've been on this journey of sharing these stories, because we really started to broaden the understanding for a lot of these authors of what this experience can really be like. And also for us, it's also cultural, right? Like when we talk about the cover of the book, I don't think we mentioned that it's embroidered flowers, so that's a big piece also about our culture. There's a lot of embroidery, but I also look at it as the painstaking time that it takes to embroider that, and some of the pains that we've had to struggle through to build this beautiful masterpiece at the end of the day, which can be the cover of the book or it can be the story that we're telling. And so I'm just really excited about these stories that really I know will resonate with authors from all backgrounds to really showcase the contributions that women make in our families, in our communities, in our work, that so often we just take for granted because that's what we're supposed to do.
Oh, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. I can feel the excitement and really looking forward to your book coming out. We're getting really close on time. And I want to make sure you each get to share your contact information. So we'll go around the room quickly and have you share that. This book is launching on September 26th. Please mark that on the calendar. We'll be posting and sharing out. Special rate of $1.99 for the first 24 hours, maybe 48. So you want to act fast. Caldita's Rising. So with that, Esmeralda, what is the best way for us to connect and go deeper?
Absolutely. We would love to hear from you guys. Please email us at holaLatinasRising@gmail.com. So it's hola, HOLALATINASRISING @gmail.com. I wanted to spell it out since it's also in Spanish. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for having us today. We're so happy and thrilled and excited, and hope all of your audience will get a book when it comes out and enjoy it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of you leaning in and making this available. And Gabriela, did you have any contact information you wanted to add to that, or is that the best way?
No, actually, that's the best way. That way we'll both get the information. I'm excited to hear from your listeners. Maybe they're going to be ready to share their story for a future anthology, or even just as we really just try to get started with the next phase after the anthology launches, which, how are we already thinking that far ahead? But we are just excited to connect with folks.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both for joining us today. I know it's a busy time prior to launch, and I'm just really thrilled to have you on the show. We'll be watching for the release of this book on September 26th. Listeners, thank you for leaning in and joining us today. I hope that you have enjoyed the conversation, that it has been encouraging and empowering for you to really stand in your voice, stand in your story, and share the gift of who you are with the world. You are absolutely needed for such a time as this. Be willing to share the gift of who you are. Be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.